Welcome back to Signals on 91.3. We will continue Signals business next week, Saturday. Now we'll go straight to. So I'm playing this year, and I'm going to look for somebody who we're going to be talking about achieving your sales, and that's the conversation this morning. Achieving your sales target in 2023. For some businesses last year, they couldn't really break even. So how then do we break even? In gradual steps, every month, every week. And I have with me someone who is an innovative business development and product manager with over a decade of experience in fintech, event production, education, consultancy, and very recently agricultural industries. What are you looking for there? Anyway, he's currently the lead business development, and he has an in most of the years, right, he has displayed a strong leadership experience and particular expertise in the creation of successful business strategies to achieve revenue growth. He possessed the proven ability to direct and enhance commercial operations, skilled in management expansion. Now, this morning we're looking at and he's wholly given to, because that's what you sent me, right? He's wholly given to impacting lives positively. I have with me Chuks, Anitche. Yeah, I got it. Right?
Yeah, you did.
welcome to Signal. Before they say they will not hear us. Yeah. Right. So we're talking achieving your sales target this year, right? And I've welcomed you with J1, so that you know that as we are talking ego. We're talking ego today, and I want us to look at how do we make funds, how do we generate revenue, how do we break even this year. Let's start in January.
Okay, thank you. So once again, good morning, and good morning, the city of Lagos. Yes, I mean, everybody wants to make money. I mean,
let's not waste time.
Right, and it's a new year. You know, everyone has their New Year resolutions, goals, and I mean, this is the time where everybody sets goals and targets and whatnot. So, the topic today, achieving your sales target. I mean, it's very relevant. I must say. And the truth is that, I mean, many of us do this like every other year. So, and we achieve certain results. But if we are looking out to achieve, you know, a different result this year, then I mean, we probably need to do things differently, slightly differently, or entirely differently. So, I mean, one of the things that, you know, I would start with is, first and foremost, you know, you need to have set your targets or your goals. You need to understand yourself, you know, understand, I mean, looking at past experiences, what did you do last year that didn't work, and then what do you want to achieve this year? Because, I mean, you can only define that, especially if you're an entrepreneur. As probably an employee or as a team member in an organization, probably your organization would have set certain goals, and then, you know, it cascades down to your department setting goals, which then comes down to you. Now, most times, your line managers will probably set goals for you. You know?
Epic goals.
But then again, it's also on you as an individual to then set your own goals. I mean, I'm an employee, and I'm also an entrepreneur. And, you know, as an employee, you know, you start the year, you realize that, oh, you have goals all over the place, you know, but it's now on you to decide what your own goals would be and how you want to achieve those goals. Of course, you have to then infuse your own goals to your organization or departmental goals. And so first and foremost, you know, to achieving your set goals or set targets, you have to have defined, you know, what those goals are. Either it's been defined for you, or you define it yourself. And having understood that, you then you know, this next step would then be for you to, you know, having defined them and identified those goals, be clear as to how you want to achieve them. So you probably, you know, I'm a planner, you know, from what you have read. I'm an event, you know, producer, so I love to plan. You know, and what I do is something in December towards, you know, before I get into the new year, I try to put all of this, you know, my plans together for work, my businesses and whatnot. You know, so what I then do is to break, you know, these goals down, and then ask myself, so what do I want to achieve, when and how? You know, what's a priority for all of this? So you probably have to, you know, itemize these goals. What the goals are, the key results, what you want to see. So because, I mean, you set a goal, for instance, I want to make
100 million.
Some people just say I want to make money this year. That's not a goal. You know, you have to be very specific. You have to be able to measure it. You have to, all of those things that you read in books, smart, So yeah, so what you then need to do is, you be more specific. I want to make 100 million this year. And so your key result is 100 million. When do you want to make the 100 million? Do you want to make it in January? Do you want to make it in March? Do you want to make it in December? So are you saying that by December I want to have made 100 million? If I say by December I want to have made 100 million, then how do you want to achieve that? You then break it down. Okay, so it means that I have to, one, understand my markets. I have to, who this target. I have to know who this target market is. I have to know how to get to this target market. I have to increase my clientele base. So maybe currently I have 30 clients who are giving me, say, 20 million. So to achieve 100 million, what do I need to do? I need to then increase, my clientele base from, say, 30 to 50 or to 70. What then do I need to do in terms of, so you need to look at, every aspect of a business to know what you need to improve upon. You look at the value that you're bringing to the table. So now in terms of the product, last year, and this is also taking, especially as entrepreneurs, you need to do regular, surveys to get feedback from your customer, because the truth is, the reason why many businesses have failed today or are failing is because the owners of the businesses, the employees and whatnot are doing the things that they like. So you ask yourself, am I the one buying my products, or am I the one, buying my service? This service is to be purchased by certain people. You need to know what they want. You need to know what they need. And, because then again, you have to, because by then you are then selling value. And if you're not selling value, then you're just wasting your time. And I realize that many businesses are at that point where they just do things and, on God and inshallah. I just realized that, if these people are not, if they don't see the need to buy my product, you will display product from now till tomorrow and boom. So what you then need to do is, to understand the need of your customers. What value am I adding? What value am I selling? When they see that value, they will buy. You probably don't even have to do, a lot of marketing and whatnot. And I'll bring an example here. So just like, when you were making an introduction, you said, and then you mentioned that I just recently ventured into, agriculture, and, you asked, what am I doing there? If you have asked that question last year, I would have laughed, because what is agriculture? I hated agricultural science in school. Till tomorrow, I still don't like agriculture. But I was talking with a friend who happened to be with me in the studio today.
Yeah, we're going to go one question at him. Just
while we were discussing sometime last year, this thing just came up, and we're like, okay, so we have this, we have a relative who loves agriculture, and we're like, okay, fine, and then he's been wanting us to do something together, and in a space of 3 hours, we were having that conversation. We went on CAC, we registered the company. If you had told me that day I'll register a company,
you said no.
I'll say lie. But that day, two of us were discussing, and next we're like, okay, let's just do that. And then went to CAC, we did a name search, boom, 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 and then opened an account. After some days, opened an account, and before you know it, we had a company, and so, and then we realized that there was a need. First and foremost, we needed to understand, the target market. The market is large. The agricultural market is large.
Now, just hold your thought a little. You've just mentioned something about CAC. Now, for everyone who has a business and you have not registered, quick one. A lot of clients that you'll be working with will want your account, your business account number, not your personal account number. So, like Anitche has said, this one I'll call your father's name. Sorry. like Chuks has said, go and register. Like they sat down, did something, and they went to go and register. So please go and register your businesses, just so that you have records and for documentation purposes. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah, thanks. So what we then did was, we then started the business, and of course, with every business comes its challenges. One, you need to understand the terrain in which you are playing in. That's a terrain that we were, all of us in that business,
we're novice.
We did not know anything. But what we then did, and I think this advice would also work, because it was first and foremost to know who the distinctive players were in the industry. Okay. And then I also realized that some of my friends were already in the industry, so I parlayed with them. which is leveraging network, which is one thing as a business person, or as a solopreneur in a corporate organization, or as a generic employee should know, is that one, you need to build a network and you need to leverage that network, because these are the things you need to do in this new year to achieve your sales targets, because it is human beings that will buy your product or service. So if you do not have a network and you do not leverage network, then because it is not sand or animals that buy your product, it is real human beings. So we need to be deliberate. The 3 points I put out here today, because everybody's doing this thing every year. We come up with 101 things to do.
I just want us gradual.
Yeah. So for me, 3 things that I would put out there before in the course of all of this is, one thing, if I thought you don't get anything from me today, get these 3 things. One, be consistent with whatever it is you are doing. Yeah. 2, be very intentional about your business. Be very intentional about your brand, in everything you are doing. Intentionality is key. And 3, you need to be deliberate about building networks, and not just building the network, but also leveraging that network. And lastly, you need to be able to unlock and sell value. Because this year, one thing I will tell you for free is that people are not going to do sentimental buying.
Okay.
We all know what's happening in the economy, locally and globally. Now, so many uncertainties ahead of us. The election is next month. We don't know. We don't know what to face. We don't know what exactly is coming up upon us in Nigeria. So people will not do sentimental buying this year. There's devaluation here. We are here in recession in some economies. We don't know. How soon we will get to Nigeria. We are already there subtly, but we don't know. We don't know how bad it's going to hit us. So that's why I started with understanding the value of your products and your service, and that's what you should be selling to these people. Not necessarily the features of the product that I said, but how will it benefit me? How will it benefit your market? By so doing, people will then want to patronize you, and then of course you are unlocking revenue as it were.
So you've talked about, your emphasis has been about value.
Yeah.
1, and 2 is no one is going to do sentimental buying. Now, for someone listening to us this morning and they're saying, for someone listening and saying that I don't even know the value that I'm selling, how do we communicate that to? Sometimes we can have goods and services, right? We can have a shop filled with different items, and the person still does not know that. I'm having this smirk on my face, and it reminds me of someone who reached out. So she has a shop now, and we're going to use that as an example, right? She has a shop. She sells different commodities, right? And she was just sort of complaining, and then I said, okay, you know what? Why not try bulk buying? Put on your status and say, okay, you can buy bulk buying. But somebody who has, let's use her as a case study for somebody who has a shop, right? And they have different things, and they still don't know the value of what they're selling. How do we communicate that value?
Okay. So first and foremost, before you started the shop, what was your...
I want to make money now. True.
So everybody, I can wake up today and start the shop.
Okay.
The first question, even before taking a job, I always ask the interviewers, the employers, what is your unique selling point? For instance, we have so many boutiques here and there.
True.
We have so many fintech companies here and there, literally doing the same thing.
Everyone is almost doing the same thing.
And then, of course, the cloud is big. There are customers everywhere. The question then I would ask, first and foremost is, what is your unique selling point? Because the truth is that to unlock your value, you certainly find it in what your unique selling point is. Okay. But if you cannot answer that question even before you start, or unfortunately you have already started,
yes,
and you cannot just sit back, take a step backward and say, okay, so what exactly, stands me out from the other clothes sellers? For instance, I'll use my agricultural business as an example. Everybody has a farm. Well, many farms are springing up here and there.
Yes, but sustainability is key.
And what we then did, was to understand where many of them, majored in. And one thing we then did was, one, we said our unique selling point will be in the quality of our product, which means that whatever it is we are doing,
quality.
Yeah, we will not compromise on quality. Quality in terms of quality of the actual product, quality in terms of packaging. Yeah, quality in terms. So I mean, actual product, the size of the chicken that we sell. Because I mean, we do poultry farming. The size of the chicken, the quality of the chicken, the packaging of the chicken, the kind of feeds that we used to. I mean, because we have that in mind, the entire chain process, we ensure that it is quality from start to finish. So irrespective, and what happens is when you know that, and your customers also know that, even though there are 10 other poultry farmers around, they will always come to you, because they know that even if you increase your price, they know that it is worth it, because these people, I mean, even if it's 100 naira increase, because to be honest, when you know your unique selling point and you know the value that you are selling, yeah, you can, for instance, everybody wants to make more money here. Now, we're not just making more money out of the ordinary. We also understand that, there are cost implications, and cost of things are rising. Now, your customers might not understand, but when they know the quality of your product or your service, and you come to them and say, "We are so sorry, there might be a slight increase in price," they will not mind, because they know the stuff they are getting. So it brings us back to what your unique selling point is. For the lady you cited, example you cited, I mean, for instance,
she's even selling foodstuffs, right?
Okay, so if it's foodstuff she's selling, I mean, fine. How do you package your foodstuff? How do you what's the so if they weigh your foodstuff, for instance, let's say you're selling a bag of rice, and you weigh your bag of rice, and is it exactly 10 kg that you sell, or that you say it is, or is it 9 point something? And because these are the little things, especially small businesses that are springing up. I mean, I'm a customer as well, and these are the little things that kill small businesses. When you are not truthful, you're not trustworthy. These are like soft skills that you need to do. Everybody knows that. They all know the techniques of buying and selling, but they forget that in doing business, in being an employee, there are soft skills that you need to have, that you need to learn over time. And to be honest, some Nigerian businesses or business owners don't have that, especially the blue collar businesses. It hurts me to know that we are at this point, and that's why we have to leverage opportunities like this or sessions like this to put this word out there. I mean, we have carpenters that can tomorrow be furniture. To be honest, you are a carpenter today does not mean you'll be a carpenter forever. Why don't you see yourself owning a showroom, with your stuff that you've made? Why don't you see yourself exporting these things, if at all?
When you talked about carpenter, artisans,
Generally,
they can, 99% can give you headache.
A heart attack.
So the few ones that you see, who are, I like to learn from them, but as clumsy as they can be, there's just something to learn from them, right? So one of the things that they've gotten right, apart from their attitude, is they tend to make money daily, which some business owners don't do, right? At least they know that, okay, fine, if I do one table or I fix somebody's chair, but by the time you call them, so that's the only good side about them, that okay, fine, they can fix something and they can get money immediately. Now for business owners who sometimes they would have to wait till the end of the month before they can make their monies, how then should they begin to see themselves making money daily? Do you understand? So we've picked from the clumsiness of the artisans. They can frustrate your destiny, right? They make money daily. So let's cite an example of the vulcanizer on the road. You know that for any car that passes that has a puncture, 200 naira is sure, right? That they would make money, even if that's the 200 naira they make the whole day. Now that's the informal sector now.
That's informal.
Okay. Now for the formal sector, sometimes it's because you're dealing with services. It's sometimes very hard to say, okay, how can we make money daily? Because you talked about targets, KPIs that employers will give employees. Sometimes they cannot match it, but then how then do we begin to break little by little? That's, at least I know that if I'm meeting, that's, it talks about building your network. If I'm meeting Chuks, I'm like, Chuks, okay, they will soon send me out of the office if I don't meet my target. Do you understand?
Yeah. So I mean, in setting your targets, yeah, one of the things you should do, you know, I mean, it's one, understanding your KPIs or OKRs, whatever it is.
KPIs.
And
sometimes those KPIs can be very, very bogus.
yeah, so which is why you then have to break it down.
Yes.
Into, you know, into molecules. So for instance, what I would
small,
do,
small bits.
so I will break it down into quarters first. And then from quarters, I then break it down into weeks.
Okay.
Especially as an employee, so you have like, maybe you work in a bank, you work in a fintech, you're working in the FMCG and whatnot. You have targets.
Okay, continue.
You have targets. So what happens in this case is, I mean, most times, especially if you work in the formal sector, to be honest, you might probably not make money every day. But however, you know that you have a weekly target.
Yeah.
It then boils down to the activities you need to do to achieve those targets. So one, you already know that. And I mean, by breaking out your targets, it's not just the money. It's not just, I want to make 100 million in a month. Therefore, in 1 week, I'll make 25 million. Now, you also need to break down, you know, the activities you have to do. So if I'm looking for 50 customers at the end of the year, it means that every quarter I need to bring at least, you know, 50 divided by 4, at least say 15, 12 point something, 15 thereabouts. Every quarter. It means that in a week I need to, you know, so you have to break down all the different items, you know, into these molecules. Once you have done that, it then makes it easy for you to run. Now you also have to make this, you know, visible, top of mind, tip of tongue. Anybody ask you, you know that yes, this is my target for the week.
Okay.
You know, so you really have to make it your top of mind and your tip of tongue. Like easy, like, you know, Chuks, and then you are spitting. Not just, you know, having it in your mind. What are the things you need to do? For instance, I say, okay, fine, I need to meet customer A, customer B, customer C. This customer A, of course, you have also identified who this customer is. You have qualified the customer. So you know that, if I bring in this customer, you know, this customer will give me, because of this is the total number of active base of this customer, this is how, if they are buying my product at XYZ amount, this is how much I'm going to make on this customer, you know, in a year. You divide it by 4 to achieve how much you make in a quarter. Now, you also look at the size of this customer. If I start talking to this customer now, how long will it take me to close?
Oh, good. Now, you talked about closing. Now, you know, a lot of time, and I'm glad we're talking about this. Hold on. It signals on 91.3. Thank you for the feedback. If you have questions or comments for Chuks, the numbers to call is 009-234-5913 or WhatsApp. WhatsApp is fine. 009-234-5913. Now, you just talked, the hook is closing. So, we will talk to people. I'll talk. I'm talking. And they tell me, even to the point where, send me your account number, right? And then you think you have closed a business deal, but the closing did not work. The closing did not close the door very well. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, it happens.
You see,
So closure is that I have made my first naira or my first dollar or my first.
So
whatever.
closure is not promises that they'll get back to me.
That's not closure. Closure is that you are now my customer. That we have exchanged value. You are giving me money. You have enjoyed my service or product, or you are enjoying my service or product.
That's continuous.
Yeah.
Closure.
So either no consider well, that's there. Yeah. So I mean, if you have paid for my service already, that's closure. Then it's now on me to now sustain that relationship. So now I already have you as a customer. That's one in the bag. The relationship management assets in.
Boss. Hello, good morning. Please call us 009-191-3913 or 009-222-0913. We're talking achieving your sales target, and he's talked about consistency, number one, being intentional about your brand, and deliberate about your network. Now, while he was talking, I just heard closing, because it's one thing for us to manage business relationships and all of that. Even that one is hard work on its own. But first, so you are telling me now that we'll get back to you is not closure.
That's not closure.
But sometimes when people come to say, okay, this person said they'll get back to us, and then we keep disturbing and pestering their destinies.
We'll get back to you when.
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, jump on it.
So when you say you'll get back to me, it just could also be an objection,
Okay.
right? Which could also lead to the close or the final close. So I'll get back to you is not a positive response. Now I'll get back to you. You want to ask when about what?
Deliberate, yeah.
So you are
Okay.
deliberate. You have to ask specific questions. I'll get back to you. Okay, next week. Okay, can I call you on Tuesday? You follow up with that. You say, oh no. Okay, let's make it Thursday. All right, fine. I'll call you Thursday. Can I call you by 2 p.m.? Is it fine? You must narrow it down. That's how you know. So you have to probe to get the right answer and what's in the mind of the people. Because the truth is, people are complicated, right? People don't really mean what they say many times, and they don't say what they mean. So you must probe to understand what is really in the mind of this client. Is he really buying, or is he just being dismissive? Right.
Sales 101. Sales 101. Because the challenge is a lot of times we think that we have closed, but we have not. Now, somebody is sending us a WhatsApp message and saying that, tell us, please, you didn't put your name. Tell us if I want to transit to a business, what are the process to follow for a home business?
Okay.
Good. We are here.
To transit to any business, be it
Yeah.
a home business or, I mean, first and foremost, you have to understand.
It's good.
First of all, you have to understand, the terrain in which you want to venture into. And I'll use the farm again because we have never done farming. Never. Like, I've never loved agriculture for anything.
But you're going to be eating now.
Yeah.
You're having free egg now.
But I mean, that day, for us, what motivated us to start was one, we had a partner who understood, the terrain. By understanding the terrain in terms of production, he knew the kind of birds,
Broiler,
he knew,
croaker.
even
Croquette fish.
broiler
Cockerel.
layers.
Cockerel, yeah.
Layers.
But even beyond that, there are certain breeds in all of those types.
True,
So there's,
true.
I mean, I found out that there's Ross one something.
See, you
I
have
mean,
not even started. Welcome
great.
to the club.
So
Alright.
first you have to understand. You have to either you deliberately understand this terrain you want to go into, or have a partner that has that understanding, and then work with that person. So you
Okay.
leverage partnerships. Now, what we did was to leverage partnerships. We had somebody that understood the terrain in terms of
The land, the water.
the kind of water, the kind of birds, the kind
Treatment.
of the treatment, that even had already had like a network of suppliers.
Already.
So what we then did was just to plug into that partnerships and then brought in our own value, which is we then understanding the business terrain. So you understand
The technical part of it.
the technical know-how. We understand the business and investment terrain, and then what we then did was to merge both together. So for one, you need to either you leverage partnerships to understand the terrain, or you do the homework of understanding the terrain. And then once you have done that, by understanding the terrain, the production and whatnot, the suppliers, even the markets. Because we then realize that even in terms of our customers vary in this industry.
Oh,
Wow.
I'll say that
So
again.
you have household, we're not informed before we started. So you just realize that, you have households, you have restaurants, you have caterers.
You have supermarkets.
You have supermarket. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody uses chicken in their homes. Now, we then realize that the packaging differ. So you go into the market, you are hearing 1 kilo of chicken in your head.
2, 3, 2, 4.
I'm even coming to pricing. So the packaging differ. So you go into the market, you hear, oh, I'm selling 1 carton of chicken. What carton of chicken might have all the parts in it? Now you're selling to the restaurants. Restaurants tell you, I want I want the different parts packed separately. I want boneless breast. I want boneful breast. I want
thighs.
I want laps. I'm like, oh, what's between thighs and laps? Oh, thighs is when you remove it. I'm like, wow. I said,
But
so,
Nigerians are making money.
yes. You know, so you there at this point, we have to stop and say, okay, fine. So who do you want to sell to?
Restaurants,
Because
market.
to be honest, when you're starting, you cannot sell to everybody.
Okay.
Who do you want to sell to? Fine, eventually you can decide to sell to everyone you have scaled. But at the beginning, if not, you burn out. You know, who do you want to sell to? So we then decided, okay, fine, we'll probably focus on, you know, maybe mostly caterers, restaurants, you know, and a few households. I mean, family and friends.
You will supply
Yes.
eggs, you will. You will
You know,
supply.
and then in poultry, first of all, we also had to decide what products are you even selling. So poultry farming, you can either sell, you know, live chicken, live birds, or sell
Layers.
frozen,
Okay.
or sell eggs. First and foremost, let me even cascade it.
Yeah.
You have to decide if it's broilers or layers you want to do, or both. Now, when you decide, if you're doing layers, it means that you probably want to, you know, you want them to lay eggs, and you want to sell eggs. We had to decide at that point, you see.
What did you guys decide?
We are just going to focus on frozen food for now. We're not even doing live. We're not even doing eggs for now. Eventually, maybe after 6 months. And which is why, you know, you have to plan your business. So, and not every time your plan will probably not work every time, but I mean, you have to have a plan. So what we then did was to say, okay, fine, in the first year, you know, we'll focus on this. Now we'll see the results from this guy and decide if we want to then, you know, leverage of going to other
Now,
people.
now I like what you've been able to do about the breaking down what exactly you want. Now, for the person who wants to start a home business, right? What are we going to tell the person?
So your home business is broad. What
You know what's even coming to mind? You know all those our old mummies that used to sell. In Yoruba they call it wose. I don't know how they used to say it in English, but you know they just gather one shop like this. You see them sell sweet, sugar,
Cane.
different kinds of things.
Yes.
You know those women around, right? Yeah. That they sell everything, and yes. So I don't know.
So this person now, first question is, I mean, she needs to decide what exactly she wants to sell.
Okay.
So she needs to decide. She needs to have, you know, a home business. Means she wants to probably serve her immediate community.
Okay.
Or if she wants to
streets.
go online.
Okay.
So I mean, you can be at home and still sell online. So she needs to then decide, you know, who her target market is. You know, if there's a need for what she wants to sell. Is there a need? If it's, for instance, you want to sell provisions, have you looked down the streets?
That's good. That is provision that I wanted to.
Yeah, you want to sell provisions. Have you checked your streets?
How
And
many
there's
people?
no provision store there. Or how many people are selling provisions?
I'm sure there is no street that does not have a provision store.
Good. And so sometimes, I mean, for instance, in an estate, you know,
You have to walk outside.
you have to probably go outside.
So can you be supplying provisions?
Exactly.
That's fine, that need.
So you have to find that
Okay.
need. So for instance, now you live in an estate. You know that fine. You probably don't have a grocery store in that estate. You know that fine. Depending on the standard of living of people living in your estate. Some of them probably want to
Shop
go to the grocery
outside.
store and shop. Now, you ask yourself, do you have those kind of people there? There are sometimes, I mean, I live in an estate and we have like a WhatsApp group, and you hear people say, please, my okra just finished. Please, who has okra? My dear neighbors, please, can I, you know, I'm sending someone to get okra. And then what did someone do? We had a farmer who sells food items. What did he do? Of course, his farm is not in that estate, but he lives in the estate. So it's a home business. What he then did was tell people, see,
That's good.
I have a farm, and every week I can be bringing these items to the estates.
That
Give me
is easy.
send your order, so that by Thursdays, every Thursdays, I'll bring what everybody needs. And then because these people are your neighbors, I'll give you a discount. You know, all you have to do is, this is my address in the estate. Come and pick up your kaya when it lands.
Or you can deliver it now.
Or I deliver if you want to be, I mean, if that's, you want to add more value, which is value again.
Value.
I deliver. I send, I mean, it's within the estate anyways. I probably just send someone to drop it in front of the gate. And that person, so what he then does now is a business. What he do every week, he just drops the
cash.
flyer. I see we have habanero pepper today, selling at this package. We have plantain selling at, and this person is making money.
It's just
So now he has
huge.
carved a niche in that estate. He has a market in that estate. Of course, this stopping from having markets in,
Yes,
in
but
other
at least you
estates.
know that this person is sure,
Exactly.
consistent.
Exactly.
That's cool. So we've already WhatsApp is already tech anyway. So everybody has WhatsApp on their
Exactly.
phones, and they're able to Wow.
So I mean, you need to leverage technology in all of it. I mean,
But you know, that's our see. You see that informal sector, they know how to crack it. The formal, wait, which one is informal? Which one is formal?
formal is the
Artisans.
organized one. No, the
Okay, the organized
artisans are
informal. So like now the informal sector is sort of cracked that because okay, we will always have needs. Is that that's informal? Because everybody that's selling things, the people, the formal that is selling services, it's still a little bit of how do we put it? Now let's say for example somebody who is telling people, oh come and I can handle your social media for you, but you know, because the market is now saturated so much that everybody's doing the same thing, how then, and because top of my head, how then would somebody say, okay Chuks, I've heard everything that you have said this morning, but I'm selling these marketing services, how do I get people to buy my services? You've talked about value, right? Everybody's doing the same thing. So what do I do differently? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
okay. I mean, so like I said,
Do you want to jump?
do you want to jump in?
No, well, to do something, to do those things differently, you need to find the unique need. Yeah, what is your identifier? What's that thing that would distinguish your service from others?
Exactly.
Otherwise, if you are doing
My Igbo brothers are making me happy.
if you are doing what everybody is doing, then maybe you don't have a business being a business. You must find that thing that distinguishes your business from your neighbor's own or from competition. That's what will be your most selling point. Now, if it's in the digital world, you can also collaborate with other brands, right? Have a brand, collaborate with other brands, or maybe in the chain of service, be at a particular point, so that we are all clogging into the same field. For instance, in this poultry business, we are in one particular area, which is just to produce the meat, frozen meat. We could have expanded to do other things, but we don't want to get burnt out. We say, you know what, let's specialize in this area. So just choose your area of specialty and choose an area where you are passionate about. Let your passion fuel your business.
But the same passion doesn't used to give us money.
It fuels, that's not true.
It does.
Your passion fuels your business.
It does.
Right? Your passion
Okay.
brings money for you. So if you are doing something you are passionate about, then it becomes fun. Yeah. So your
You
business
are
becomes
breaking all
fun.
the motivationals, everything.
Absolutely.
You are breaking it.
If you are not excited about what you are doing, the truth is that you won't want to wake up in the morning. Yeah, so that thing that makes you
Your
want
bills
to
will
wake
you
up
in the morning.
that thing that wants to make you wake up in the morning should motivate you to do that thing and continue to do it. For me, that's really just it.
Coming from the stables of
Ernest.
good.
No, but to be honest, I mean,
Chuks carries on. Oh, yeah.
passion, any day, anytime. I mean, to be for instance,
But you understand what I'm saying when people say
Yes.
that passion will not make you money and all of those.
directly.
Passion that is not channeled. Yes. If your passion
Okay,
is not
good,
channeled,
good.
yeah, if your passion is not channeled, then you just have passion, right?
Okay.
So your energy must be channeled towards a cause. I have a number of things I'm passionate about. Growing up, right, I thought I was going to be a musician. I could sing. I was passionate about music. But I got to a point like, my guy, stop this thing. It's not
Now
going
I'm
to work.
okay.
It's not going to work.
Okay.
So what did I to do? I started to pick a job, 8 to 5, and I've been doing this for about 16 years now. And I've been happy. It's met my bills, and I'm passionate about my business because it's bringing money for me. So at the end of the day, what's bringing money for you? You can be passionate about that, or turn your passion into a product.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost wrapping up, and I'm enjoying. If you have questions or comments, I still have 2 minutes. Don't stress me. So now I've liked the way that it's money. I'm supposed to give it blow. Anyway, myself and my colleague has a way of now for us going. Let's quickly recap a bit and say that said passion can be channeled. Bam. Good. So that the people that are staying at home and are saying they have passion, what do we tell them?
Channel your passion, alright.
Channel. Okay, fine.
find someone who can unlock the value in that your passion.
Okay.
But the truth is that within your network, you find those people. You find a brother, you find a sister, you find a friend. It doesn't have to be it doesn't even have to be a relative, right? You find someone who believes in you. The truth is that in this part of the world, we have many stakeholders in our lives.
Plenty.
So look for those stakeholders that believe in you. Let them fuel your passion. Let them fuel your passion. Your passion, your passion is a gift given to you by God. We have to bring that into the equation, and it's not a mistake. So there's something you
alright.
can commercialize in about you, around you, on you. So commercialize it and bring money from it.
Monetize it.
Yes.
so because-
Chuks, I said, continue.
I mean, we all know Ashake.
Yeah.
Ashake had a passion for music. Ashake, it was just yesterday
And then
night.
his time has arrived.
Yesterday night I saw one of the songs he recorded over 3 years ago. I mean, and those songs had positive lyrics.
Not this one that we are doing.
No, but I mean, even today, he still references those days. And what happened was he found somebody that believed in his passion
And could manage him.
and could manage him. And today now, Ashake is a household name.
He said, the bad boy made money last year.
Ashake made crazy money.
He
2022.
made money. Don't worry, we're
And
going to make our own
he's
money.
wanting to now sustain it.
Yes, that's another thing.
Because he wanted to get to that point
And
then
then sustaining
you have
it.
to sustain it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you, Chuks. Yes. People used to make me money. I was making money. Should come back.
But I mean, in all of these, he's wanted to do all of these,
Yeah.
and then just like Ernest, tried to say, there's also the God factor, because I mean, you can do all these things.
See, God even wants us to go and
Exactly, he wants us, so we need to now wake up and do
do
it.
it. And anyway, till we come your way again next week Saturday. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I've gingered my swagger. Anyway, I'll show you your own story. Till we come your way again next week Saturday, like we always see on Signals. Create opportunities for people. Be smart about the opportunities, and yes, that's the word. No more. Be smart about the opportunities.
Yes, sir.
Have a wonderful week and God bless.
Gracias.
Where is my Oshodi? Let me go back to this one. Thank you, everybody. Basha is